It's been revealed that the pilot killed in yesterday's plane crash in Melbourne was being investigated in relation to an incident 18 months ago. The aircraft slammed into the roof of the DFO Retail Outlet Centre and burst into flames shortly after takeoff from Essendon Airport. On board were the pilot and 4 American tourists. They were all killed in the accident, Elizabeth Brown reports.
Air safety investigators have been picking through the smouldering wreckage and say they'll be there for several days. It's been reported that the plane suffered catastrophic engine failure, and today it was revealed the pilot, 63-year-old Max Quartermain, who had more than 38 years flying experience, was involved in a close shave with another plane in 2015. The head of the Australian Transport Safety Bureau, Greg Hood, says his agency does not engage in speculation about the cause of the crash.
We're in the process of gathering the evidence and in doing so look extensively across all of the possible causal factors of the accident. That includes maintenance records, the history of the aeroplane, the history of the pilot, the weight and balance. It involves previous accidents in relation to the Super King Air, for example. So at this very early stage, certainly we're not going to speculate in relation to any specific part of the investigation.
Greg Hood says the crash site is proving challenging for investigators.
There are portions of the aircraft on the roof of the retail facility, and obviously there's an extensive site in the car park of that facility that requires examination.
The 4 passengers on board the plane were American golfing buddies from Texas who were playing their way around the world on what's been described as a trip of a lifetime. They were on their way to play on a luxury course on King Island and Bass Strait when tragedy struck. Victorian Police Superintendent Michael Fruin says police are supporting the men's families and are helping to repatriate their bodies, which remain in the wreckage due to safety concerns at the accident site.
Obviously, it's a really difficult and traumatic time for them. We're making arrangements with them collaboratively with regards to repatriation of the body, support with regards to other members of their families that may want to come out here.
News of the crash also reached the White House, where spokesman Sean Spicer passed on the condolences of President Donald Trump at his daily press conference.
I want to acknowledge the tragic plane crash that occurred in Australia that took the lives of 5 individuals, including 4 Americans. The President's thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims, and the U.S. Embassy and Consulate are ready to provide necessary and appropriate assistance.
Back in Melbourne, the crash has raised questions about the safety of Essendon Airport due to its proximity to large buildings and a main motorway. Pilots say airport owners and the federal government are prioritising commercial development over public safety at airports around the country, while Essendon residents have long called for it to be closed. But the Victorian Premier, Daniel Andrews, says it's too early to make any decisions.
Obviously, safety is paramount, and we'll wait the findings of those important investigations. If there are changes, if there are learnings from those investigations and the circumstances around this tragedy, then I'm sure, and I can speak for the federal government as well, they actually regulate airports, but all of us together would stand ready, I'm sure, to make any changes.
Essendon Airport and the DFO Retail Centre remain closed today. Investigators are appealing for anyone who witnessed the crash to come forward and say they'll have their preliminary findings ready in 28 days.